All right, critique time. You guys ready? You guys ready? All right, Jordan. First time here. I've been trying to do some stylized textures in Substance Designer. Anyone got any tips on how to build up that look? Useful notes to look for or look into, for example. You're pretty new to Substance Designer. You were born ready? Yes. So with stylized, I mean, when it comes to stylized shapes, it's much more about like broad, soft shapes, right? There tends to be some sharp shapes depending on the styles that you're going for, but it's really about like the look that you're going for. That's what's stylized, right? So you have your realistic textures and you have a stylized version of it, and that style is based on the style of the project that you're shooting towards. So if it's like League of Legends versus World of Warcraft, there's a very specific look to the way that the details are portrayed to sell those shapes within that style. I think that's the best way to explain stylized texturing, because there's no real one way to do it. There's styles. So I guess some stuff that I would suggest looking at. So in general, your shapes are pretty stylized. I mean, the color palette that you have going on for your albedo is pretty basic, which can be a style in its own. Right now, I think looking more at the technical aspects and then pushing your shapes a little bit further is probably what's going to bring this material over the top, right? So this shape here. Oh man, let's shrink that down a little bit. Like this shape here, and then just where these are cutting. Like this one's a little weird, but and these are a little weird. These cuts are good though. Some of the ones that I'm pointing out, like that one's okay. This one's okay. I guess that it's transitioning to that. What you want to watch out for though is shapes that connect between multi stones. Some ways. Oh, I like that one. This one's getting a yellow. I like this one. So some ways to get around that stuff is taking your stones and trying to offset them in heights, or adding gradients to the stones themselves to give them a little bit of a tilt. So like if you were to look at it from a side view, it would be maybe this one's higher and then goes lower here, and then this one's straight. It's kind of a hard color to see against that background, but like that. And then maybe just so you get some angle shifting on that. That'll help a ton. These, you could probably get away with these if you just blur, like a high quality grayscale blur. You soften those out enough and then you won't even notice it. So what I would do is actually turn the strength up on how much these are displacing. So like maybe this piece right here actually gets quite a bit deeper. And then if you do that blur that we're talking about, you can soften it up to the point where it starts to look. You hear the toys. Soften it up to the point where the details aren't so generated looking. And then albedo, those edges require some nice edge highlighting for a stylized painterly look. And that edge highlighting you're probably going to get with a convexity, like edge albedo lightning. A squeaky toy. Let me know if that's too loud. I can make it stop. But yeah, just be careful about details coming across into other shapes that are the same. And it looks like there was a video just posted creating brick materials in Substance Designer in the art related thread by Steven Verix. Check that out. That'll help you. Substance Designer just takes time, and you're already heading in the right direction. Like everyone goes through phases, and this is just one of the phases leading up to like the sickest of the sick. I look forward to it. Okay, slot machine. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ilmatix. Slot machine, huh? Prop practice. So first of all, really like the fact that you're modeling the details out on the top here. I'd be careful with the edges being so sharp. If this is the high poly, like go ahead and just bevel them edges. That way you get some nice, cause like see from the front here, you lose the text, right? The only way you're gonna see that text is through the ambient occlusion or albedo color changes, or emissive, right? So taking a bevel to all those edges is gonna allow the light to wrap around the text more, which will in turn create more lighting across the surface, which will make the text pop more. Bob, dude, if it's high poly, it's all about them bevels, man. You know, you're like the ultimate bevel dude. Like you bevel so hard that you bring it into ZBrush to bevel. Like that's pretty hardcore beveling. In general, the shapes are looking pretty good. I would so you have some weight issues with the depth of details that you're doing. So like let's see here if I can get this going here. So you've got details here that like that width and this width are pretty similar. These guys are very shallow. So like I would actually change the song. Hang on. I would actually push those details either further out or further in. You let me know if those squeaks are too crazy, okay? They're not too loud, right? You can see down here the details are working pretty well with like the frame having the depth that it needs. And you can also see from this view that edge, because those edges are beveled, you can see the light wrapping around the shape itself. Seeing that up here that's the look. Oh my god. Just let me know, guys, if it's too crazy. You can crush the family's dreams if you like. It's heartwarming. Dude, he's having so much fun right now. I know it. Let's see what else we got going on here. So this bottom area, I would exaggerate the depth of that just because like that's where like the stuff comes out. All the goods, all the monies. Yeah, it's probably, so Karma's probably throwing a little toy and then Maro's grabbing it, but then he's running around the apartment biting on it. So it's like a sequential like squeaking. And here you are stuck with us, dude. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I look forward to more of this, so just keep pushing on the shapes and stuff and try and get some consistency between the depth. Like the edges here are really narrow. Whereas like other details like this detail here is also really narrow, and so is this, and these details here are really narrow, like really tight and small. You want a photo of Maru? All right, hang on. We're gonna get distracted just for a moment, and then I'll go back on course. This guy. Look at that. Look at him. He's actually adorbs. This is a real photo. Karma took my phone and caught me sleeping. Yeah, he's awesome. All right, onward. Yeah, I'll bring him into the stream. Not tonight, but maybe on Friday. All right, so we finally got some reads work coming in hot. So we're gonna look at all these photos first pretty closely, and then we'll make some comments. Damn, Reed. Damn. So right now, I would say that the brick material, like, so when you look at this material here, the wood framing, and you see like the shape read and the scale of the detail, what's happening on the surface and such, and then you compare it to this, it's like two styles clashing. It's like that same thing I was just talking about with the it's the same problem we were talking about with the slot machine, where like the edges or bevels or depth is not matching between the assets, so you get a bit of an inconsistency. But in general, I think everything is looking pretty good. I would make sure to frame your stone when you get to it. It looks like you actually haven't gotten to it yet because there's like a seam there. When you get to it, I would just pay attention. You can see that? All right, cool. You're like, oh shit, I post that? Fuck. Just make sure that the consistency is there. Right now, the stone texture is also pretty washed versus everything else. This looks awesome. Probably getting a little bit more variation in the roughness on the top of this when you start to get the polish going on is going to help. And then as far as the colors of your books, I would definitely try and get some of the books to have some different values in there so that they can pop from each other a little bit more. I take care. My head almost exploded. There's some material inconsistencies with the textile density. That's another big thing. So like another reason this stuff is sticking out versus this is the textile density between the two is very different. So like these guys, it looks like you're doing a unique bake of some sort, possibly, and because of that, the tiling is lower than the brick or stone. So I would suggest taking the normal of these. If I'm seeing this correctly, take the normal of these, apply that, and then in another UV set, I would actually tile the wood material individually so that you can get the resolution that you want. And then where you want this edge damage or like the lightning, you can actually add that in through a mask and blend between like two wood materials. Dude, this area is cool, man. That's super cool. I like. Shadows are really interesting where the light is casting as well. I don't know if this is the... Oh, yeah. Okay, so this edge here, this one. Make sure that that gets a good, like, normal curve to it. Different way of saying bevel. Just for you. Just for you guys. Some of the books on the floor look strangely large compared to... Let me see. Or strangely small. More bevels. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I mean, maybe in your reference it's kind of like that, but make sure that check your scale on stuff for sure. Man, the stairway up, that looks awesome. It's looking pretty cool. I assume there's banners and stuff. Is there, like, rugs? It looks like you read a lot of books. 。  . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I guess make sure your bounce lighting is also pretty toned down. So maybe up here it starts to get pretty dark. That way all the focus is here. And then where are we at here? So all of the lights coming in, making you look at this. Dude, feels good, man. Whoa, what is this madness? Let me scroll up, make sure I get the names right. So this is Kyle. Decided that I'm going to move this into max and start working on this again. This will be my Victorian Last of Us scene. It's mostly the block out for scaling at the moment. Yeah. I'd play with your shadows or your light casting a bit more and see if you can, I guess this can come later, but like the shapes of these, if they can get more diagonal, you'll get longer shadows, which have a lot more like visual play. And I don't know what's going on back there yet, but given this angle, Egal, what's going on? How you doing? Hearts to you. Hearts to you. The focal point, given this angle, is somewhere in this area. Maybe this spot. A giant toilet, maybe? I don't know. What about us? Reeds, get out of here. It's like, dude, you guys know I love you. You know I care. Yeah, so like making a focal point here, something, a prop, something there, something. Maybe some stuff framed on the wall too would be cool when you get to it. There you go. Yeah. Didn't hurt you. Cool. Also, the ceiling. Make sure that the ceiling makes sense for either the style of the location. You know, it could be really interesting is in the back, like maybe around here. This is another focal point you could have. It's just like from all the moisture and the fungus and grossness that's going on, maybe the wood fractured here, and then you get like the wood beams that have fallen and like all the debris and shit from here. Everything's just kind of coming out of the ceiling, right? And then you get this gross like hangy stuff and pieces of wood, and there's wood here and fragments and debris. And then maybe like maybe a table here or something. Oh shit, what is this? What is this? Am I doing it? Am I doing it, guys? Perspective? Is it happening? Yeah, maybe seating here. That'd be interesting. I don't know what the location is currently, so. In general though, this is looking pretty solid. Be careful, I know you're blocking it out, but be careful of this shape. You know this guy? Because it's like it's a box. It's like you're in a box. That's why I was suggesting maybe that collapse could be really cool. Warehouse type corridor? I don't know of any warehouses that have these type of doors though. You know what I mean? He draws, oh my god. Ah, yes. A victory. This looks fucking sick, man. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This looks straight out of a game. So this is Adjuster Craigasm. Update on my outdoor scene after the feedback I got. Sick, man. This is solid. Let's see here. So, first of all, scale is much stronger on your Ivy. Whoa, this music. Much stronger. Be careful of the shape up here being very uniform. Maybe have some like see how this area is pretty clumped? Is to clump above that just to help reinforce that shape or the success of the growth. So like this is also growing pretty seriously. Maybe like lumping that up and then getting a little bit up here. That'll help a lot with selling the shapes. Check the size of the diameter of the ladder. So it's a little thick. Scale is looking better, it feels like. I don't know if you worked on the scale or not. Dude, the white frame's much stronger. See, and it brings the sign out as being more white. I don't know if you messed with the sign at all. You could try changing the song. Hang on. You could try let me think here. You could try in the shader for the Ivy to make it so that you can vertex paint a slight color shift. So like maybe areas where the Ivy is older or younger, you can either make it lighter or more desaturated or browner. You could get some really cool effects, I think, with that. Really, really cool effects. Let's see here. If you're just tuning into the channel or if this is your first time being here, you should totally follow. I love hanging out with you guys. Oh shit, I do need to update that bot. Yeah, the sky could use some love. The saturation of the rust down here. Like this area and the saturation of the fence and the tree trunks is really saturated. Especially the trees themselves, the leaves, versus the ivy. The ivy is much more in line with the value that I would expect. These guys, I would actually even stylistically maybe even desaturate them further than the building so that it's like that becomes more of the focal point. Oh shit, the sky. The sky. There was time, guys. There was fucking time. Language. Lighting's pretty fucking solid though, and dude, the wood paneling behind the windows is really popping now. As far as the way that the wood has been blocked, what is going on here? Oh, I see what's happening. My Facebook Messenger's on. I'm like, what is that? What is happening? All right, well, we're dealing with it. Yeah, so the wood paneling here, or wood cover stuff, is like, it's boarded up in a very random way. And then the metal bar and the wood being behind it is really strange. I would suggest maybe even like breaking some of the glass, and then that metal bar needs to be smaller because scale-wise it's huge. And then look at the size of these bricks and the color, and then look at the size of these bricks and the color. And your sky. And I think you're pretty far in. Oh, the pole looks good too. The telephone pole. It looks much more in scale, which is nice. You could make these guys bigger, the coils. And maybe a little bit lower as well. Like if you went let's see here. So if the brackets were here and then the coils were like this, maybe this needs to come up a little bit further, and then making the wire smaller. You can wrap another wire along this one and like have it hang a little bit and then go down like that. They're like beehives, guys. anyways, yeah. And then I see that you added the little poster things down there. That's pretty cool. The little sticky things on the pole. Very cool. Super solid. Super solid. Oh, this is looking cool. Oh crap! It's the old version. What? What do you mean? Let me scroll back to this. Yeah, he did add mesh bricks to add the height change, which is totally cool. Well, this still looks pretty cool. So it's a little blurry, and the edges, get this guys, it may be a little too beveled. The wall feels rather thin, I guess, for the window frame. Like, I guess the spacing here, like this side feels okay, but it gets really thin here and really thin here. So like these are like weird tension points. So maybe if it went out further, like maybe something like that, and then this went up, that would probably be enough. And then these guys feel really strange. Like bricks don't usually fall like this, right? So I'd be careful with placing those like that. And you see how I kind of drew this to the point where these are almost symmetrical. Make sure that that does not happen. It's too beveled. It's just, it feels really soft, right? Like what is it? Skyrim. They bevel pretty hardcore bevels, like, and then they smooth everything, so everything's really like soft rounded. Foliage is looking pretty cool. I like the smaller stuff here. These bigger guys, they feel like the leaves are maybe a little too light for the size of them, like light as in weight. I would love a bevel emote. We'll get it going. And then the crease in the middle doesn't seem to be there. Let's see if I can. It's 8:39. We got the time. We got the time to do this. We should have a gesture for beveling. Bevel. Bevel. Illuminati, oh my god. So what you have right now is basically like a let me do this real fast. You have a curve, I'm just manually doing this, that's similar to maybe like this. Right? This is actually probably higher as well. So it's more along those lines. Let's just connect these. There we go. So what I think you want is more like, you want that curve like this. You want to bow that up. But then you also want it to happen like on the sides of it. So like, let me see if I can't. Can he do it? This is really weird, and the sides are really sharp. But like getting that definition will help, like, see that like, what can we put on here? I'm like, come on, bling. So if you can see that shape more, man, this is really exaggerated. This is all shaped kind of funny, but you see my point with like getting the definition to the leaves themselves so that you can see the shapes more. Right now it's pretty solid, and you can get this edge here, but not as strong, right? You do that, and then you can like in the albedo make like a lighter stem to it. Sort of rude. No, this thing's shit, man. This thing's bad. That's kind of rude, bro. Hey, you don't know, man. Now I'm like adamant. Should I just keep going? No, it's clipping and that. But yeah, it's whatever. It's happening with these guys. I can see a little stem in them. You just need that and maybe a bit more of a, and then a bit more of a highlight in there. I'm like, what happened to the music stop? Oh wait, I've got some like, not the daily mix. What is it? Songs. I've been liking some weird songs lately. Yeah, this is feeling it. In general, though, population of the propping and like how everything's interacting is really cool. Maybe you could take the ivy on this side and just grow it up, maybe up to here. Oh, I just noticed that red there too. Play with some other colors with that and see if that works out for you. Good old metallic plants. Whoa, whoa. I got this from Zombie. This is pretty cool, man. It just needs like 1,000 more rocks. Like I'd use like a scatter tool. I don't know if this is an Unreal or not, but you could just like scatter out some rocks and just spray them down. Varying sizes and shapes. If you can, I'd get like a World Machine crater pass going on. It's pretty cool though. Stars feel a little large, maybe. Maybe not as bright as I'm expecting them to be as well. Like they should be the brightest thing in the scene, maybe. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I don't know, I'm terrible with... I haven't done much space type stuff. I really like seeing the Earth though. I expect maybe a little bit of rim effect from the atmosphere. Just on the edge. It can be really subtle. Like creasing along the edge, maybe ending around here and here. Could be wrong. Look into that though. Atmosphere. See if it needs it. And yeah, just some more debris and stuff on the ground. Yeah, the stars do look like they have a bit of a blur to them. Maybe a directional blur, like a motion blur, like they're rotating like that. All right, what are we looking at here? For the critiques. Reddington. So, do you see how much easier it is to read this scene now that there's walls and the textures are coming in and stuff? I think it's looking pretty good. I think that the shapes and details on the wall need to be more averaged as a similar value, so that they're not fighting for dominance against your props, and your props need to be more of that lighter value. So the walls need to go back in value space. So questions in here. Wall with bookcases. Overall view, what do you think of this shot? Any suggestions for some extra props? You could use some stuff on the table, just smaller things like cups and plates and stuff, and maybe some like tools and things like that. Maybe over here you could like pile up a ton of bottles, like lots of bottles, some in front, tons of them, just like that's the footprint. Tons of bottles. Things on the ground, carpets, rugs or something. Maybe half of the table could be like lifted like it's a cutting board, or like like see if this is lifted up a bit, and then you take all those props, lift those up a bit. Maybe some chains that are going along there similar to this stuff, and then some tools, some maps or schematics, stuff on the table. Let's see what else we got here. Chemical bottles. Gotta get them bottles. But yeah, like I was saying here, if you could, you need to push back the value of the brighter side of your wall textures so they're not fighting for dominance. The ground right now is pretty blank. For the floor, do you have any feedback on the floor? I'm currently thinking of making a rust metal or rust material and using a vertex blending to keep it a bit more detailed look. Kind of want to have the same details because it's some eye rest in my scene. Yeah, leaving this pretty empty would be good. I would leave it for like things that... What's up, light? Light bulb on. I would leave your floor for just like grease and oil stains and dripping liquid, steam, reflective oils and stuff like that. I would avoid rusting the ground because I don't know ground being metal would be very common. I would probably go for more of like concrete or stone. Light, you can. I think you can. Go ahead. Oh man, those are the bevels, guys. So those bevels are about twice as wide as I think they need to be. I think. Like this door on the ground is more along the size of the bevels. That's the other thing, is make sure your bevels are consistent based on the size of their assets. And that handle could be larger just because of the amount of detail on it. Probably get some variety in your albedo as well, because right now it's very one colored. Oh shit! Oh shit! It happened! It happened, guys! It's been ages. It's been ages. Thanks, Reeds. All the bits for the Empire. Empire. Dude, we need to get some emojis. We need to get sub. And then we can do it. Yeah. But glory to the Empire. Glory. Bring glory to the Empire. Oh shit, look at this sink. Dirty. Dirty sink. Let's see here. The super scroll. Yeah. Rich Swedes. Dude. I'm gonna get taxed on this stuff, man. It's gonna be brutal. What's the tax? I think it's like 54% or something like that. Where the fuck did the thing go? There it is. Raz, alright. Due to the fact that I'm doing some job hunting at the moment, I went on some interview, like house search, and barely have time now for art. I started a small project to get back into it, and I'm still working on it, and wanted to use a base color and on it, and I wanted not to use a base color. However, I might change my mind about that. I only have normal, roughness, and metallic. Should I go a bit crazier with the composition? Honestly, I think this is looking pretty cool. See it, like, albedo wise, all you need now is stuff to add some color for, like, where food has been left over, or like grease and oils. Everything else looks solid. The rest is selling itself. I would take the edge bracket things and make those bigger, like double their thickness, so that they actually pop out quite a bit. This looks pretty solid though. Pretty solid. I don't have much to say on this. It looks pretty good. Just add some more geometry to this plate. Like if anything looks low poly, just add more geo to it. Because if you're paying for it on the cups, there's no reason why you shouldn't be paying for it on that. Let's see here. Alright, so this scene looks pretty fucking sick, man. I would say though, the give me a second here. So that fog looks really cool. It's just, so how fog is visible is light gets trapped in it, right? Light bounces off of it and hits your eye. That's how fog works. So with that in mind, the only way, let's see if I can't, I don't think I can actually select that type of stuff either. You have to be able to control the brightness of your fog. Essentially, your fog should look like this color. Let's see if I can, oops. What is going on? There we go. That's probably more in line with what you should be seeing. See the difference too? It's pretty sick though. This scene's awesome. It needs another light source like this one. Maybe right here. Photoshop. See, and then you can use that to lighten up the fog in that area. Whoa. Have I seen the VOD? Oh, no. I haven't clicked, though. Yeah, that's sick, man. I know that character runs through, doesn't he? I'm sorry I'm fast-forwarding this. We don't have too much time. Yes, here we go. Downward. Fuck, that's sick. Yeah, that is really fucking cool, man. Huh. NVIDIA Flow, man. Oh my god, that sounds expensive as balls. I did some more modeling, this is confrontational. Or confrontation. I did some models, started with lighting. Since the last time I posted, there was still some placeholder textures. I'll work on the decals, some unique models next, and refine the textures where I needed. You can ignore the wall on the right. Cool. I'm just going to wait until you get a little further along. I really like the materials, though. I look at your roughness on your bricks for the way they're shaped currently. Or the way the light plays across the surface. In general, though, it's looking pretty solid. Okay. Okay, I can look at one more, which is going to be light bulbs. So light bulb, I've been paying attention to your lighting. You like matched much closer. I still feel like you're missing out on the props. Like how much lighting is down there? You're like losing your chairs here, and this area feels much better. It's still like this is blowing out, whereas like this is really soft. I think instead of putting a light up, like you can have the light up there, maybe lower the power of it, and then put a point light here. That's really soft, that just fills in all of this so that you see how you get all that lit there. And then I also do the same about putting a point light here just to get those chairs filled with some light. And then your shelves are really wide compared to these ones. But yeah, I mean, it's looking cool. And dude, I want some spider webs, man. Give me some spider webs. Anyways, cool. I gotta get out of here, guys. I'm sorry, the hangover guy. I did not look at your piece. Make sure to tag it with the crit tag. I think the next one will be crit, whatever the next day is, 6/23/17. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for the bits. Means a lot. Helps keep the stream going. I need to order the mic stand, the camera. I haven't had time with Maro here, so it's all about focusing on Maro. I need to get the webcam. I need to get the mic stand and the laptop stand. DJag, what's up, man? How you doing? It's good to see you. We should host someone. It's been a while since I've done that. Give me a minute here. I'm gonna host someone. All the hearts. What is happening? Oh, StarCraft. That's what's that. No. So good. All right. All right, I'm switching to the end screen. I'm going to find someone, See if there's anyone doing anything cool. Oh my god, where? It's kind of harder to find 3D stuff now, isn't it? Yes, next stream we're going to look at your substance stuff. Kunal. Sorry I couldn't look at it this time around. I'm looking for some sculpting stuff. You have a Twitch stream, 3D? Go stream. I'll host you. You have like 5 seconds. Alright, I found someone. Alright, cheers, guys.